hello, and welcome to episode 1 of season 4 of The Paper Thing with me, the Broken Bottle Boy, here on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy, and also on what's it called? TikTok, Useless Conquests. Today's show is a 3-paper show. We'll be covering The Sun, The Times, and The Daily Mail. And, thank you for joining me. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the Discord. Throw it in the Discord, Mick. At here, the show is live. Boop. Bap. Cool. Good to go. Right, sorry, let's get started. Hello, Carbot14XYZ, thank you for joining me. Hopefully some others will enter the fray shortly. So, we're going to start with The Sun, which is a demonic paper. And on a good afternoon, Red Tixie, good afternoon, Slinker Maya, good afternoon, Mark Canosis. Bang in the chat there, amazing. Good. I was just thinking, is anyone going to come? And then suddenly, the cavalry comes over the hill. Right, front page of The Sun, once again, is a picture of a pint, because they are obsessed. Obsessed, I tell you. Brits booze stampede, 14 million book up beer garden tables, but some can't get in until May. Imagine that there would be possibility to buy booze in other places, like, shops. Good afternoon, Grilling Pirate Pete / good morning. Hope you are well over there in the US of A. Put my glasses on. Now you know I'm serious. Boom. Okay, so top of the Sun page. Scientologist nearly busted my marriage to Emma, says former Busted star Matt Willis. He apparently became a Scientologist for a period when he was recovering in alcohol recovery, and they tried to split him up from his wife. Hey, SK the Crusader, good to see you. How you doing? Tara writes, hello. Little sport coverage there. Chelsea 0, Porto 1, but Chelsea still 1-2-1 on aggregate. They've got a Line of Duty exclusive. BBC Gaff reveals Sunday's new star. I haven't looked up who this is. Gross behaviour from gross people. Yep. Says Yu-Gi-Oh! Hey Yu-Gi-Oh! How you doing? Good to see you. Red Tixie lolling at the BBC footage of that old guy drinking Corona in a beer garden. Good afternoon, Industrial Pet. Thank you for joining me. And us, in fact. On page 3, which is not page 3, but is page 3, Ailes a top 40. Alessandra Ambrosio shows that even though she's 40, she can still be naughty. Oh, fuck off. BBC weatherman Thomas Schaffernacker has stirred up a storm by vowing to keep his lockdown mob. Viewers have likened it to a 70s porn star, while meteorological godfather Bill Giles also had a veiled dig. Last month, veteran Skywatcher, there's your second mention there, Bill warned about shaggy sheepdog weathermen who might be less believable because viewers could not see the whites of their eyes. Viewers expressed their disapproval after lockdown eased this week, with one tweeting, I see Thomas Schaffernacker couldn't get a hair appointment. Oh, fuck off. 70s porn star is a powerful look. Exactly. Right, pages 4 and 5. It's glass half full or completely empty. Vast orders. Pub swamped by boozy revelers, but only 15,000 and 40,000 venues are open. Yeah, because people can't go inside at the moment, and most venues don't have outside space. Fuck me. One-shot jab for under 30s paused in the US. That's the Johnson & Johnson. Guess what? More coverage of Prince Philip's death. Queen's masked farewell. COVID rules apply. Hymn singing ban. The Sun has got another supplement about Prince Philip coming this weekend. A 28-page glossy supplement. Fucking hell. Right, moving on. Kate Moss has done a photo shoot again. So they're like, wow, she's back modelling. Comrade Wolfie, good. Thank you for maintaining the bit. Alex Scott is going to be the first woman to host Football Focus. Well done to her. Yes, Matt Willis says, Rocker embarrassed that he joined weird group after rehab. Scientologist said Emma could be a negative force. They tried to split my fucking marriage up, says Matt Willis. Although, of course, this being the Sun, it says F***ing marriage. So, could be any word, couldn't it? Please no supplements about that man, please, says Industrial Pet. How many pages is that in total? Well, someone totaled it up the other day that there had been 500 pages of the British press dedicated to Prince Philip. So I guess we are rocketing towards 600-700 at this point. Weird group is a rude way to describe McBusted. Excellent work. Page 15, Madonna's bought a new house. She bought it off The Weekend for 14 million quid. Jane Moore says, will princes use grief for grandpa to heal their rift? I don't know, but stop writing about these people as if they're your own family. It's just bizarre. Cam Whitehall, chief in pay of lobby firm, is how Kate Ferguson, deputy political editors, report on David Cameron's continuing the mushrooming of the Greensill scandal is headlined. US cops face mass protest over death of black suspect is how the Sun describes the killing of Daunte Wright. As usual, incredibly racialized, not just saying man, saying suspect, just generally, sorry, my hair is, this hair will be gone soon. Weird group, death like police had no part in it. Yeah, exactly. It's a killing. It's a police killing. And the fact that the footage of the cop saying, oh, I accidentally used my, it's so disgusting, Taylor writes. They murdered an innocent man. Exactly. There's some suggestion that they had a warrant out for him because they sent a summons to the wrong address. Rolling Stones, Dave Grohl and Mick Jagger have recorded a lockdown single. Here's a really cute thing of a dog that's had it gone in for dogs that have gone in for haircuts, which is quite cute. Comrade Wolfie, the footage is sickening. Absolutely agree. Rita Ora has worn a bikini, so that's subject of an actual story. In the goal supplement, yes, we can. John warns fuck. Jonathan Woodgate warned Norwich that his Bournemouth boys are out to ruin their party on Saturday night. Daniel Farke's tabletop and Canaries will clinch promotion straight back to the Premier League with a win at Carrow Road in the 8 p.m. kickoff, but the Cherries are also pushing hard for an instant return to the top flight after Dominic Solanka's 14th goal of the season clinched victory at Huddersfield. Typical anti-Canary bias by the national press. Did I actually end season 3 at episode 69? I did. It's the new... I haven't done a new backdrop yet, but I decided today that season 4 would start, that all the seasons are now going to be 69 episodes long. So season 4 has begun today. Do not be fooled by the backdrop. Red Tickseed, sorry to tell you that your beloved Prince Philip has died. More positive propaganda for the Sophie Wessex. From shy Sophie to Queen's Rock, caring Countess has become one of her most trusted friends. Fucking hell. Red Tickseed, holy shit. Philip has died. When did that happen? I want it to go on forever. Yes, thank you, Yuan. Happy season 4, everyone. We did it. We got to 69 episodes of season 3. Tonight's picks in the TV MasterChef final, BBC One, delayed, of course, because of the death of Prince Philip. Bent Coppers, Crossing the Line of Duty, documentary about police corruption and racism in the 60s and 70s. Why not do one about police corruption and racism now? It's narrated by, of course, Life on Mars star Philip Glenister. On Channel 5 at 9 p.m, the sensitively titled Here Come the Gypsies, glimpse into the world of gypsy and traveller communities in Surrey. We meet Romany cage fighter Tony the Rhino Giles. The Great British Sewing Bee is on at BBC One at 9 p.m. Marconosis, these days they embalm you up and put you in a grave just for being Prince Philip. Comrade Wolfie, who the fuck is Sophie of Wessex? Sophie Wessex, the Countess of Wessex, is the is the wife of Prince Edward. Comrade Wolfie, for fuck's sake, the anti-GRT sentiment in the UK is almost as bad as it is here. It's fucking horrendous here. Yeah. Mark Kenosis, here come the gypsies. Fucking hell. Seriously, yeah, I know. And we thought we'd got away from my big fat gypsy wedding and all that kind of shit. I did quite a bit of reporting on GRT communities when I was living in Ireland, and obviously anti-gypsy and anti-traveller prejudice in Ireland is pretty horrendous too. In Fab Daily, should women cash in from posing nude? Megan Barton Hanson, who has an OnlyFans, says yes. Dominique Samuels, the conservative commentator, says no. Sites in effect sell a lie, promoting prostitution as female liberation. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. This is just an excuse for the Sun to print pictures from Megan Barton Hanson's OnlyFans. Across the page, good sex drive guide. The pandemic has killed women's libido more than men. Why is that? It's because women have had to shoulder, as ever, the burden of domestic and emotional labour. So fuck off. It's not a psychological difference between women and men. It's because men haven't done their fair share. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, and I agree with Tara Wrights. Leave sex workers alone. Broken Bottle Boy OnlyFans when? Well, I've got a Substack. It's the British journalism world's version of OnlyFans. In the £50 letter, this today comes from Anna Hammett. What lovely tributes to their grandfather by Princes William and Harry. Their words obviously came from the heart and were clearly written by themselves. What is this? Is the person a copper? And the man himself, themselves wrote this statement. I am sure Philip would be smiling now if he thought his passing would result in his grandsons reconciling and settling their differences. The whole nation wants this to happen. I couldn't give a fuck. Mark Kenosis is going to start an Only Foes where it's just fans of me getting hurt and stuff. Well, it's basically just a one-man jackass. Comrade Wolfie, they wrote the letters themselves. Wow, that's hard. Imagine. Terry writes, I mean, as my friend put it, Substack is just OnlyFans for neeks. Yeah, pretty much. Happy with it, mate. Happy with it. Patreon, similarly. Also, it's incredible to me. Two things. One, that the British media is only getting around to fully writing about OnlyFans now. And B, that... well, it's not surprising to me that it's just another excuse to attack sex workers, essentially. Which is just fucking pathetic. Today's piece of absolute fucking tat that they want you to buy for just yours for just £200, a Spirit of Concord watch. It's pretty fucking horrendous. As I cannot see any coins on sale in today's Sun, I'm afraid. Ronnie O'Sullivan will channel his inner Picasso in preparation for the masterpiece of his career, is how they cover the start of the Snooker World Championships on Saturday. And they've done a really crap Photoshop of him holding a massive paintbrush. Coins! Starting an Only Coins for pneumatists. I'm into it. And on the back page, 3 lines, bad boys warned, clean up your act. Gareth, I don't want you letting me down again. Gareth Southgate wants England's players to be squeaky clean going into Euro 2020. Right, well, that's not going to happen, is it? Right, your scores for the Sun. For me, it's a -69 again in tribute to the end of Season 3 and the start of Season 4 of the paper thing. Give me your scores. Comrade Wolfie, to be fair, a lot of my dissertation was about coins, so I think I'll be the only one interested in only coins. What was your dissertation about, Comrade Wolfie? I need more details. I'm a -69 from Slinkermeyer, -4 from Comrade Wolfie, a -100 from Mark Kenosis, and a -1 from Ged Station. -420 from Chronotherm. In the chat today, we have me, the Broken Bottle Boy. You can follow me on Twitter, @BrokenBottleBoy, and of course on TikTok, @Useless Conquest. Trying to build up that following before I start using that in earnest to do some skits and shit about the British media. In the mod squad, SK the Crusader, the fine SK the Crusader. If you have not watched his new video, I encourage you to do so. Let's get him to another 5,000 views. In the main chat, Carbot14XYZ, a lurker and a valued one at that. Community Showcase, Comrade Wolfie, Everyone Loves Raymondo, Ged Station, Grilling Pirate Pete, Ice Wizards, Industrial Pet, Julia Emily 129, Chronotherm, Mark Kenosis, Pismears, Polly 1787, how do? Good to see you. Red Tick Seed, who is shocked to learn that Prince Philip is dead. Selinka Maya, Senor Leopardface, Teo Wright, and Yuan, the fish fan. Right, next up, it's the Times, and then we will be ending today's 3-paper show with the Daily Mail, as I am taking Child in the Room out to the comic shop this afternoon, so I need to get on it and do that. Comrade Wolfie, it was about the Hellenization of the Near East. Cool. Yeah, Sun was really boring today. Not even much rage-inducing evil. Yeah, really just... they were absolutely just phoning that one in. Slinker Meyer, the problem with the increased exposure of OnlyFans is that sex workers using it are now being subject to more bullshit hoop jumping, as those platforms always fuck over the sex workers who got the platform popular first. Agreed. Grilling Pirate Pete, how much access did the UK have to the vaccine? I got mine the day after Easter. Nice that it was the J&J one shot and done. We don't have the J&J one yet. We've got the Moderna, we've got the AstraZeneca, and we have the Pfizer. Industrial Pet comic shops are great. I missed them. Yeah, our comic shop is called Abstract Sprocket, which is a great name for a comic shop. And I wanted to go in yesterday, but it was comics delivery day, and they just don't have enough space to open the shop and have comics delivered at this point, you know, with social distancing and all. Right, the Times. Here we go with the Times. At top of the page, the trails for stuff in Times 2. Super Spring dresses, best fashion for the new season. Person in the room is not in at the moment. She's out looking in the charity shop, but she did say that she would not wear a single one of the dresses in Times 2. And Sophia Money Coots, who is a real person, says, why are clever people falling for fake news? And those clever people, she claims, are her friends. Comrade Wolfie's going to get the J&J jab directly into his Johnson. Mark Kenosis says, nerds. Mark, vinyl collecting and record collecting in general is just as nerdy as comics. I do both, but, you know. Right, here on my desk right now, it's the last three, well, actually, the last two 2000 days and a Judge Dredd magazine, which is an absolutely badass cover of the Dark Judges. Anyway, I'm getting right back into just being a massive nerd. Get Station, I reckon vinyl collectors are nerdier. Well, yeah, possibly in to the level of grading and stuff. I mean, all hardcore collectors, comic book collectors, are as bad when it comes to grading stuff and price guides and everything. Polly 1787, are clever people falling for fake news as they think the Times is a sensible paper? Yeah, think of my our household also does both, but we're both fucking mega nerds. Love it. Yeah, record collecting is further away from nerd culture. Record collecting is centrist dad culture. Industrial Pet, my vinyl collection is definitely more nerdy as I currently can't even have a setup to play them all. Red Tixie, Broken Bottle Dork. I'm into it. I embrace it. Everybody Loves Rainmondo. We need a Dark Judges movie. Best comic book baddies. Well, if they do the Mega City 1 TV series, hopefully that... I mean, I would do that as a season arc. It'd be amazing. It's still apparently in the works, so we'll see. Okay, the Times. Rest of the front page. Firms begin to cut COVID test prices after profiteering claims, as if the Tories really give a shit about people profiteering. Main story, top Cameron Mandarin took job from Greensill. Mandarin is such a... how great was Dredd? Totally agree, Red 60. And it's back on Netflix. I watched it again the other day. So fucking good. It's basically, they just did the raid with Dredd, but it was great. Mandarin is such a newspaper word. It just means top civil servant, and it's so old school. Grilling Pirate Pete, at least in America, comics are nerdy, vinyls are hipster. Vinyl people are... There are people who get vinyl, and they're hipsters, but true record collectors are proper nerds. As we saw when we went through Record Collector magazine recently. I may do an evening stream at some point that's just about fucking record collecting. I have to get Mark on. Britain follows as Biden says US will leave Afghanistan. The absolutely grotesque thing about this is that they've chosen September 11th for their latest pretend withdrawal from Afghanistan. Inside the paper, Luther isn't black enough to be real. This is a distortion of some comments by the BBC's diversity chief. Miranda Wayland said the popular crime drama is an example of a series that is only superficially diverse. Basically what she said was, Luther's a great character, Idris Elba played him well, but he doesn't have any black friends, doesn't eat any Caribbean food, just doesn't really feel authentic. And that's true because Luther as a character wasn't written as a black man. He was just written by the white creator of Luther with the assumption that it would be a white man. They got Idris Elba in to play the character, and that's it. Like, there are slightly silly comments, but and she was always setting herself up for this kind of spin on them, but I think she was talking off the cuff. It's unwise. It's like, it's not perfect. I agree with you, Ted Rice. It's not perfect analysis, but like, when you watch Luther, it's admittedly, it is interesting how he has no black friends. It's in a black, London is a massively diverse city, and yet the cast and characters of Luther aren't really. But again, Mark Kenosis back on the vinyl thing. Different flavours of Vinyl Maniac too. I dig for a Weird Unknown Records and look down on e.g. Beatles pressing variation types or £50 Man treating himself to some Britpop classics. Yeah, and then there's the kind of like DJ thing, and it's the whole thing. Like, my thing is a combination of the Unknown Records guy and also the post-rock, indie rock, hip-hop head thing. And my record collection has always been a complete mess. Conrad Wolfie, he is just every one of his black friends, so they can't... He's just every one of his white friends, black friends, so they can't be racist. Yeah, that's fair enough, really. Okay, this is a really shit story by Gabriel Pogren. So, the Conservative peer, Lord Ranger, 71, commodities and shipping tycoon who's donated £1 million to the party, including $145,000 since Boris Johnson took office, has been found guilty by an employment tribunal of committing victimisation, harassment and direct discrimination under the Equality Act. What is the line in Pogram's story just before that? He writes, the married father of 3 is also chairman of Conservative Friends of India and has been an outspoken advocate of women's rights. What the fuck? Imagine going from that to saying, oh, but by the way, he's been found guilty of discriminating against a female worker and calling her a scumbag, a silly girl, and a proper quarrelsome woman. How do those two things gel together? They just fucking don't. Grilling Pirate Pete kind of reminds me of the show Friends. Takes place in New York, if not the most diverse, one of the most diverse in America, but only whites on the show. Yeah, they started to introduce a few black characters in the later series, but it's very forced in. Same thing goes for Sex and the City. Industrial Pet. Most of my vinyl collection I got from my stepdad. First press crass feeding of the 5000 is the crown jewel. That's amazing. I had several very rare records stolen when I used to DJ, and I'm still not over it. Mark Closis, don't worry, I look down on you too. Go for it, mate. Love it. Red 16, all the show Girls had that issue as well, and they did the very clumsy introduction of a black boyfriend in the second season, which didn't last very long either, and it was so obviously tokenistic. Most hospital cases under 65 as jab immunity takes hold. Another great picture of a dog who's had his hair cut. Conrad Wolfie, my girlfriend was trying to rewatch Sex and the City a few months ago and couldn't get over how dated and alien it feels. Mark Kenosis, could believe upper middle class Manhattanites of extremely segregated friend groups. Oh no, I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's unbelievable, but they made very little effort in that show. Facebook spends £24 million on keeping Mark Zuckerberg secure. I mean, it doesn't really surprise me. Queen expected to press on with solo engagements. whatever. Now, this story is important, and we'll see the other side of this story with the Mail. Sources close to the Duke of York have been allowed a puff piece by Valentine Lowe, who writes, Andrew will refuse to exploit sympathy in order to return to public life. Bullshit, and we'll see why it's bullshit in the Mail later, but we just know it's bullshit. The appearance of him outside the church was all part of that. People smugglers are using the most desperate migrants in northern France as decoys to give those paying premium rates an easier channel crossing, the Times has learnt. Where have they learnt this from? I presume the Home Office. Although it wouldn't surprise me. Ged Station, Queen expected to carry on with solo engagements as opposed to taking her toy boy along with her. Yeah, he's already doing it. Of course he is Industrial Pet. You're right, Loveless. Okay. Tax raids target the least well off. HM Revenue and Customs has cut payments to hundreds of thousands of universal credit claimants during lockdown in an aggressive tax raid on the country's poorest families. Why a surprise? Here's a cool picture of an owl. This is at a European eagle owl on display at Bishop's Palace in Wells, Somerset. It's one of the largest species. The females can have a wingspan of nearly 2 meters. Estate agents tour showed off more than just the house. Demand from prospective buyers to access more information about properties online during the pandemic driven a rise in 3D tours, but viewers saw more than they should have in one listing. Estate agent has apologised after a 3D tour of a house for sale in Devon was published with a substantial amount of personal information visible. Financial paperwork in the study could be read by zooming in on the high-resolution images, and family photos were left unblurred. The paperwork included a shares dividends check, an insurance policy document, and an invoice for a stair lift. Files estate agent said the private data in the virtual tour had slipped past its staff and the homeowner. House was listed on Rightmove, and the advert appeared to have been live since October 2020. Okay, well, European eagle owls can eat a small deer, says Mark Kenosis. Jesus. Private schools hiding low bursaries. Private schools are engaged in an arms race to build top facilities funded by rising fees while obscuring how little they spend on scholarships, researchers have claimed. Study by accountancy and finance researchers that examined the accounts of 142 private schools found that institutions appeared to spend more on scholarships than they actually did, and that most were small grants to pupils with musical or sporting talent or discounts for teachers' children. Why the fuck are we surprised? I'm not. Mighty oaks, no match for farming. A study of maps reveals huge loss of field trees since the advent of intensive agriculture. Again, entirely unsurprising. In the comments section, certainties of the post-war world are ending, writes Daniel Finkelstein. It's boring. It's not even enough to get... There's not enough meat in there to get angry about. The clothes we wear are stained by genocide, says Hannah Lucinda Smith. Shady supply chains mean it is ever harder to avoid goods linked to China's slave labour camps. Hannah Lucinda Smith is the Turkey correspondent for the Times, and Roger Boys, the most unfortunately named correspondent in the Times, is currently away. Matthew Paris writes, Cameron's old rival has given his shins a kick and tries to make excuses for David Cameron. If you want to know more about that, look at today's newsletter, brokenbottleboy.substack.com for today's newsletter. You can subscribe for free to the newsletter, and if you enjoy it, consider subscribing to the paid version, which gets some extra bonus additions. There's actually a decent column by Alice Thompson that talks about the fact that Shirley Williams was a single mother for a significant period of time when she was a cabinet minister, and that probably played a huge part in her being unable to do some of the things she wanted to do in politics, while others who had political spouses, including Margaret Thatcher, were able to, rise to the top or whatever. And there were, So anyway, actually an interesting column, decently put. In the birthdays today, Professor Julian Lloyd Webber, the cellist and principal of the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire until 2020, is 70. Richie Blackmore, the rock musician known for Deep Purple and Rainbow, 76. Adrian Brody, the actor, 48. Robert Carlyle, actor, 60. Georgina Chapman, fashion designer and co-founder of Marchesa, is 45. Julie Christie, the actress, Dr. Zhivago, 81. Andy Coslett, chairman of Rugby Football Union and Kingfisher Retail Group, 66. Stuart Craig, film production designer, the Harry Potter films, 79. Sarah Michelle Gellar, aka Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is 44. Georgina Harland, the pentathlete and Olympic bronze medalist, is 43. Professor Dame Sue Hill, Chief Scientific Officer of NHS England, 66. Paddy Hopkirk, rally driver, is 88. Dame Deanne Julius, economist and founder member of the Bank of England Monetary Policy Committee, is 72. Dr. Terry Kemple, president of the Royal College of General Practitioners until 2017, is 69. Nice. Loretta Lynn, country singer, is 89. Charles Mackay, chairman of the Opera Holland Park Historic Royal Palaces, 2015. Eurotunnel until 2004 is 81. Gina McKee, the actress, 57. Ian McLachlan, rugby union player for Scotland until 1979, is 79. Baroness Susan Masham of Ilton, disability campaigner, is 86. Shari Redstone, chairwoman of Viacom CDS Media Group and president of National Amusements, is 67. John Sargent, the BBC's chief political correspondent until the year 2000 and ITN's political editor until 2002, is 77. Frank Serpico, whistleblowing New York police detective depicted in the film Serpico, is 85. Baroness Elizabeth Simons of Vernon Green, Minister for the Middle East until 2005, is 70. The Right Reverend Tim Thornton, Bishop at Lambeth to the Forces and the Falkland Islands, is 64. Sir Gregory Winter, biochemist and Nobel Prize winner in 2018, the Master of Trinity College, Cambridge until 2019, is 70. On this day in 1981, the NASA Space Shuttle Columbia landed at Edwards Air Force Base in Southern California after its maiden flight. The last word today goes to Diego Rivera, the painter. In Conversations with Diego Rivera, he said, "When we began, we had no opportunities. We prepared in silence and created our own opportunity." Right. Wait, Margaret Thatcher is dead. Yeah, good news. Honk, honk, honk. Happy birthday to Richie Blackmore. That bio is Richie Blackmore's night erasure. It is. Chronotherm, banned private schools. Everyone I know who went to them hated it or is a psychopath. Happy birthday again to Sarah Michelle Gellar from Slinker. Yes, very much. Happy birthday to her. Shooting of our son was no mistake, say the parents of Dante writes. I would agree with them. Incredible picture of a octopus wrapping itself around the face of a diver. After it had hugged the diver, it went off to hug what the paper describes as his female body. Spain's greatest queen wasn't so whiffy after all. The legacy of Spain's greatest queen, Isabella of Castile, made pungent for centuries by a reputation for poor personal hygiene, could come out smelling of roses after the discovery of documents detailing her scent and cosmetic regime. Isabella funded Columbus's voyage to the New World and the reunion of her New World, and the union of her country, and through her firm rule and marriage to Ferdinand II of Aragon, set the stage for Spain's global dominance and golden age. Her prestige has long been undermined, however, by what historians have called a black legend, in part her reputation for not washing, and for her role in instigating the Inquisition and the expulsion of Jews. I mean, you're burying the lead there. The Inquisition and the expulsion of Jews are more the problem of, I love octopuses. They are amazing. If you've never read the book Other Minds, which is in large part about them, it's incredible. Canadian town fights beaver building boom. London, New York, and German town of Hamelin are all reported to struggle from time to time with too many rats. In Granville-sur-le-Rouge in Quebec, it is beavers. A booming population of about 800 beavers has been blamed for flooding parts of the town and causing hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage. It's constant battle, said Tom Arnold, 61, who was elected mayor 4 years ago and found himself charged with dismantling beaver dams. About 20% of our municipality is being swamped by these guys. The town stands on the north bank of the Ottawa River, halfway between Ottawa and Montreal, on land that rises into the Laurentian Mountains and is riven with watercourses. Wolves and coyotes once preyed on the beavers, but we have decided that we don't want any wolves and coyotes around, Arnold said. Trappers once used to hunt beavers. 40 years ago, they would deal with them, he said. Since then, the value of the fur has gone down to next to nothing. People are not interested in trapping them. The beavers have multiplied, constructing about 200 dams in the district. Well, fuck you guys. I'm pro beaver. Let the beavers. I'm on Team Beaver. Think about being smelly is no big deal in comparison with the other stuff she did. And genocide in the Caribbean, exactly, Ferrisol. Yeah, and funding Columbus. Exactly. Whether she had stinky pits is very much the least of the matter there. Yeah. Founders of Google have joined the exclusive list of ultra-rich after their fortune swelled beyond 100 billion. Larry Page and Sergey Brin are among 8 people classed as centibillionaires by the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Google was formed by Page, 48, and Brin, blah, blah, blah. 6 centibillionaires are technology entrepreneurs. The others are Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. A sick world where that's possible. Coins for sale, everyone. They're trying to sell the Sovereign again. £319. It's yours if you want to put that much money in. In the obits, Eric Gordon, who bought the Ailing Camden Journal for £1 in 1982 and kept it alive and got it to success. He is described as a gruff campaigning journalist and unreconstructed Marxist, as if that's a bad thing, who bucked the trend by launching a successful local newspaper. He had a pretty amazing life, and that is a good obit. Coins. Also in the obits, the Rev Canon John Polkinghorne, Cambridge physicist who specialised in quantum mechanics and baffled many of his fellow scientists by believing in God's will, and Captain Marvin Howard, naval attaché and colourful raconteur who built a school in India and transformed his home Tickley Bottom into a guest house. Tickley Bottom. No. Don't want it, mate. They're also trying to sell you fruit trees, another expensive Hoover. And in the sport, Lions standoff with clubs. Stars at English clubs may miss out on tour over schedule clash. 100 days to the Tokyo Olympics. Fans blast final as experiment. Supporters groups of Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur have joined forces to condemn the ticketing arrangements for the Carabao Cup final, claiming the match is no longer a sporting event and more of a scientific experiment. And Stokes breaks finger at IPL. Industrial Pet. If I don't get my bottom tickled at that guest house, I'd be most displeased. Colourful raconteur has to be redacted. Yeah, possibly. I haven't read that obit, but would not surprise me. Right, minus 69 for the Times. I'm sticking to a model today. This is a nice guest house, but the walls are full of tiny bones. Right, so yeah, give me your scores for the Times as we roll unstoppably towards the Daily Mail. Yes, I would agree with Mark Kenosis on this one. Good animals in there. Minus 69 from Slinkermeyer, minus 90 from Mark Kenosis, minus 68, 1 point for Coins. A Brendan Head out of 10 from Ged Station, minus 8 for Octopus, and a Jane Pickering Classic 0 from Red Tickseed. So, the Daily Mail. Here we go. Front page of the Daily Mail. How on earth can William forgive Harry? Writes Amanda Platel. Amanda Platel, as if she has some special insight into the royal family, which she does not. And row erupts over Andrew's demand to dress as full admiral at funeral. He is the John Terry of the royal family. And of course, main story, Cameron Mandarin snared by lobbying scandal. Inside, Gimme Pfizer is the headline they put on Mick Jagger's collaboration with Dave Grohl on a song about the pandemic. The full headline, Gimme Pfizer, Mick Jagger rocks the lockdown blues. Jesus. Conrad Wolfie, wish I got made an Admiral for no reason. Yeah, me too. Just in all the scrambled egg and ribbons and medals you could possibly want. Picture of Lex Greensill and David Cameron sat in Saudi Arabia. Is headline, Getting Cozy in Saudi Desert, Cameron and Financier Chum. Red Tickseed, how can William forgive Harry? Like this, I forgive you. Yeah. Mark Kenosis, Ian Brown appears to have called Jagger a nonce. Oh, well, gotta look at this. Ian Brown is a full-on COVID denier and general maniac, as well as singing like a goose farting in the fog. Show me this tweet. Shame on you, Sir Mick Jagger, Knight of the Realm, doing their satanic majesty's work for them, not on normal communal exercise. And he's highlighted the capital letters to imply that he's a nonce, as if that is somehow, as if using acrostics is a way to avoid getting sued for libel. I wouldn't, if I were Ian Brown, I wouldn't be trying to get in a legal fight with a man who has more money than God. On page 6 and 7, a revenge brewing since Eton. Andrew Pearce is framing this inquiry into David Cameron, which isn't really even going to touch Cameron much, as Boris's final revenge on him. It's ridiculous. Page 8, Andrew's demand for the funeral. Let me dress as an admiral. I think they should force him to dress as Peppa Pig. Amanda Patel, ask yourself, if you were William, could you forgive Harry? Yeah, I could. Oh my God, he's been his own man. How terrible. Sligmeyer, how dare you associate our sweet Satan with the royal family? Mark Kenosis, impressive to start making less sense after you stop smoking crack. Industrial Pet, Ian Brown is a total danger to himself. Conrad Wolfie, I once saw him at my parents' neighbours. Oh, okay. Philip's guided tour of his final resting place is given to the males Robert Hardman in wonderful trademark style in interviews that are a fitting memorial. Oh God, get a grip. Red Wall battle to be waged across the Midlands. It's the retail guru Tory versus Letta Gaff Labour MP. So that's Andy Street against against Liam Byrne. Liam Byrne was making a joke as a stupid joke and he shouldn't have done it. Red Tixie, holy shit, Prince Philip's died. When did that happen? Love it. Mark Kenosis, don't know why, but let me dress as an admiral has actually ended me. Mummy, let me be an admiral at Daddy's funeral. Yeah. Boris keeps the brakes on despite falling death rates. PM can't see any reason to lift the lockdown further. It's one of these faster. This is one of these. It's correct. This bit will live longer than Prince Philip. I hope so. Banning batsmen and wiping out wickets just isn't cricket, says Henry Blowfield. They're not doing either of those things. They're just doing one form of cricket that uses slightly more simplified terminology in an attempt to make the game more inclusive. Who cares? New law may force the tech giants to pay for stories. Doubt it. Kate Moss has worn a blazer. Am I being very brave or very foolish? More stuff from Giles Brander's hastily updated Prince Philip biography. By Echosaurus, giant dino print is found in Yorkshire. On this day, April 14th, in 1937, the Daily Mail wrote, Radio telephony will forge a new empire link today when the voices of the King's representatives of India and in 4 dominions will be heard in London, replying to a message from His Majesty read out by the Duke of Gloucester at the opening by the Duke of the Overseas League building in St. James, SW1. Whoopie-doo. April 14th, 1997, the Daily Mail wrote, Tiger Woods yesterday made history as he became the first black golfer to win a major title and the youngest ever US Masters champion. 21-year-old American rewrote the history books as he produced the lowest winning total in the event as well as the biggest victory margin. Happy birthday to Gina McKee, 57, and Peter Capaldi, who is 63. Born on this day, Valerie Hobson, 1917, the rather trained actress from Northern Ireland, was more famous than her husband, John Profumo, who was a minister when they met and went on to be Secretary of State for War. After her wedding, she never acted again. In 1963, when Profumo admitted he lied to the Commons about an affair with Christine Keeler, he and Valerie dedicated themselves to a life of charity work. Also born on this date in 1929, the excellent Jerry Anderson, the London-born TV producer, created Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, and many others. He made his puppets' heads to look like film stars. Stingray's Troy Tempest was modelled on James Garner, and Thunderbird 1 pilot Scott Tracy was inspired by Sean Connery. On April 14th in 1939, US author John Steinbeck's classic The Grapes of Wrath was published. And on this day in 1979, Art Garfunkel notched up his third and final UK #1 with Bright Eyes, written for the film Watership Down. Quote of the day comes from Edmund Burke, the Irish statesman and economist, who said, "Nothing in progression can rest on its original plan. We may as well think of rocking a grown man in the cradle of an infant." And joke of the day, where do astronauts leave their spaceships? At parking meteors. Mark Kenosis, I agree. Let Art Garfunkel dress as an admiral. Let the dinosaur dress as an admiral as well. Think of my only a dinosaur with a Yorkshire accent would be fucking glorious, wouldn't it just? Get Station, imagine gatekeeping cricket. Insane. Captain Scarlet is based on Cary Grant. Not sure why that has to be in the paper. No, I don't know yet. Cambridge graduate bought a bomb manual on Amazon. This, as I mentioned on Twitter, is typical, right? If this guy was not a well-off white guy, the university he went to, that he was highly intelligent, none of that would be mentioned. None of that would be mentioned. If this was a Muslim guy, none of that. It'd just be terrorist court or whatever. But we know that, don't we? The 4 stretches that make everyone feel sleepy during the day and your brain is on high alert. So our sleep experts regularly prescribe an unusual cure. Change how you breathe to banish your stress. Fuck me, it'll take more than that. In the Money Mail, why is Google making it easy for scammers? Which is an excuse to attack Google. Today's reproduction of a classic Daily Mail front page. HRH Concorde, Philip pilots jet at twice speed of sound. His verdict, nothing complicated. Oh, fuck off. Also, injury forces Prince to quit polo. These are all old stories, classic stories about him. My children's success, nothing to do with me, he says. Bang, please ring the palace. Cabby finds dent and a note from Prince Philip. Royal mailed Philip's pin-ups. It sounds like a merry hoax, but the pulchritudinous trio from the hit television series Charlie's Angels are over the moon because they have learned Prince Philip is one of their fans. They've replicated a classic advert in here as well. Civil service, the Strand, Terraline and worsted men's trousers. Fucking hell, I'm trying to show you this. There you go. Yeah, no improvement to material conditions, just breathing. Gene Rook, Philip's pearls of wisdom often drop with a clang. But what do we want? A stuffed duke who daren't open his mouth? Gene Rook was a piece of work as well. Is there any word that sounds less like its meaning than pulchritudinous? Yeah, it's a really disgusting word, isn't it? Working from home can turbocharge women's pensions, but the bad news, it also damages their career prospects. Great. Just the Daily Mail's daily commitment to making women worried about everything. Pantomime horse. Is there any word that sounds... Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, that's good. Thank you for that, pantomime horse. No recreation of the January 13th, 1934 page, though. Wonder why. Yeah. Mark Kenosis, please. My trousers, they're very worsted. Oh, God. It's been a while since we've had a spammer in here. That's unfortunate. Big follows. Big bad follows. Today's TV recommendations: Great British Sewing Bee, 9 p.m. BBC One. MasterChef Final is on at 8 p.m. Bent Coppers is on at 9 p.m. First Dates Hotel, also 9 p.m. Here Come the Gypsies, also 9 p.m. Ugh, here come the Gypsies. In the TV reviews, all that glitters, Britain's next jewellery star only gets 2 stars. Our Yorkshire Farm, 4 out of 5. Thank you for banning that spammer, SK. Much appreciated. Big follows, big coins, let's go. In the cartoons, Garfield is texting with the dog. The dog's sending him barks, and he's sending him some spits and stuff back. In Chloe and Co., Chloe and her friend are talking about men sat down and drinking. And in Fred Bassett just chased a terrier out of the garden. And his master wonders, did he also ruin the vegetable patch? And he decides that running away is the better part of valor. In the straight-to-the-point letters, M. Smith of Chatham, Kent says, "It's ironic that to have a drink at an inn, you need to stay out." Terry Coates writes, "I've come up with a battery-powered immersion heater that fits into a pint glass. It comes with an ice pick to get the crust off." John H. Israel of Bromley, Kent says, "Servicemen are no longer allowed to call each other lads. Trading in the RAF, we refer to as you horrible-looking lot." Jay Herbert of Spilsbury says, "As Sainsbury's been taken over by the woke brigade, an email to my wife from them was addressed to Mix, not Mrs. S. Nightingale of Bolton says, "Vaccine passports, forgers would have a field day." Alan Stackman of Calne says, "Give Scotland a trial at independence with no cash from Westminster. See how it goes for 2 years and then have another referendum." Bob Woodland says, "A tax for gum removal. It'll never get off the ground." Mark Cohen says, God, sorry. Itchy nose, stupid hay fever. Sains Wokebury's force feminizing man, yeah. John H is not real, can't be. Good on Fred, exactly. If they ever make a Fred Bassett coin, I'm going bankrupt. Save Fred, yes, continue. Mark Cohen of Manchester says, I'm not doing Manchester accent though. I don't worry about best before dates. After it moved house with me twice, I've eaten a 20-year-old tin of olives brought back from holiday in Scalos. Why? Why are you eating 20-year-old cans of olives? Just buy some new olives from the supermarket. And Barbara Ockleshaw says, "I've just finished a jar of quince jelly dated November 1987. Delicious, and I'm still here." What the fuck? Why are they doing this? Yeah, entirely done for YouTube. That's the answer. Today's recipe is toffee apple turnover puff pie. Seems fine. Trying to sell you a lot of holidays. Trying to encourage you to sell your gold. Sell your gold. Here it is. Coin alert. It's the Prince Philip coin again. Yours for just $4.95, and I am going to order mine today so we can get it on stream next week, because someone donated the exact amount for the Philip coin. Coin alert, yeah. I'm even pulling it out of the paper to remind myself to order the Philip coin today. $4.95 for this beautiful coin. Coins. I need to make a drop of that, don't I? Make it a full English. Chelsea edge through. Can Liverpool and City join them? Stokes ruled out of IPL with broken figure. And Toon Shop swap for new owners. Mike Ashley is closing the Newcastle United retail store and has made all of the staff redundant, informing them that the club's proposed new owners do not wish to keep them. In a move that insiders say points towards a development in the £300 million Saudi-led takeover, the Sports Direct-owned store is now likely to return to club control. Okay, another minus 69. The coins people will never leave me alone. I'm willing to take the risk. Coins. Okay, so that was that was the Daily Mail. I give it a minus 69. Thank you for joining me on negative nice. Thank you for joining me on today, or Wednesday, the 14th of April, for episode 1 of TPT Season 3. Tomorrow, we'll have the debut of the new TPT Season backdrop, the Season 4 backdrop. Expect it to be an even more cursed image than you can possibly imagine. So do tune in then at 1 p.m. Mark Kenosis gives the Daily Mail a minus 95. It's a point given for Fred and the coins. Industrial Pet minus 495. Can't wait to see the coins. Slinker Maya minus 69. Of course, as ever, if you have enjoyed the show and you want to help support the show, there's various ways of doing it. Chucking a few coins into the newspaper fund, which I'm just about to drop the link for, is always a good way to do that. Also consider using your Prime, Amazon Prime, to subscribe here, or if you've supported me either through the newsletter or putting into newspaper fund. Use your Amazon Prime subscription to support SK, who has an excellent stream and is very deserving of the support. Hopefully he will drop the link to his new video in the chat again, so that you can help boost the views on that. It's a good video. See you, Comrade Wolfie. Have a good one teaching. Person in the room, I'm sure she's going to be thrilled with the coins. I'm looking at her now. She looks thrilled.
I'm going to just roll them like a dragon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're just going to...
Like Scrooge McDuck.
I'm only getting the one coin to start with.
I'm just going to roll in it like Scrooge McDuck.
You're going to rob yourself on a Prince Philip coin?
Yeah.
Okay. Latest Get Station, latest Slinkermeyer. Oh, it won't be as bad as you can possibly imagine, Mark Kenosis, but it'll be pretty bad. Thanks, Industrial Pet. I will see you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Well, hopefully. Have a great day. If you want me, or you have anything, I can help you in any way, you know where I am, at Broken Bottle Boy on Twitter. Cheers.